Russia is preparing to use a modified rail push trolley to supply its forces in Ukraine's eastern Donetsk with essentials like ammunition, water and food, according to images shared by the Russian Defense Ministry and US military analyst John Hardie. The system, reportedly developed by the 37th Railway Brigade and the 51st Guards Combined Arms Army Logistics Unit, is designed to operate on repaired railway lines in the Pokrovsk area. Footage shows soldiers fixing tracks and loading the trolley with supplies before it moves off autonomously, likely controlled remotely with camouflage and a visible antenna. According to the Russian Ministry of Defense, the trolley can transport over a ton of cargo across distances of up to 50 kilometers on existing railway infrastructure. The simplicity of the system allows it to operate with minimal maintenance and makes it potentially difficult for Ukrainian reconnaissance to detect, offering a low-profile alternative for frontline resupply. This method contrasts with Ukraine's use of more sophisticated unmanned ground vehicles for logistics purposes. Despite its basic design, Russia's approach could prove effective under the current conditions, especially in light of months of intense combat in the region and continued Ukrainian efforts to disrupt Russian supply routes. Rail transport has long played a central role in Russian military logistics. A 2023 report by the US Center for Naval Analysis highlighted that Russia's military rail troops, originally established in 1851 during Tsarist times, are an integral part of this tradition, maintaining and utilizing a vast 80,000-kilometer rail network for both commercial and military use. However, while the trolley itself may require little upkeep, the tracks remain vulnerable to sabotage and damage from ongoing warfare. Additionally, the remote-controlled nature of the system may expose it to disruption by Ukrainian electronic warfare operations, potentially compromising this innovative yet rudimentary supply tactic.
German Chancellor Friedrich Merz on Thursday urged the U.S. to stay with us on Ukraine, as he addressed the fourth annual conference on Ukraine's recovery in Rome. Stay with us and stay with the Europeans. We are on the same page and we are looking for a stable political order in this world, Merz said in short remarks at the event's first plenary session, amid uncertainties of the U.S. commitment to Kiev's defense. According to Associated Press, Italian Premier Giorgia Meloni and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky kicked off the proceedings as Russia pounded Ukraine's capital with another major missile and drone attack overnight in some of the heaviest attacks on Kyiv in the more than three-year war. European leaders urged private business and equity to invest in rebuilding Ukraine, as they opened the event with announcements of a new equity fund and public-private partnerships. The conference is expected to finalize individual deals of guarantees and grants to unlock more than €10 billion in investments, Meloni said. Italian organizers said 100 official delegations were attending and 40 international organizations and development banks. But there were also 2,000 businesses, civil society, and local Ukrainian governments sending representatives. They are participating in a trade fair, complete with booths, on the grounds of the ministerial-level meeting at Rome's funky new, Cloud, conference center in the fascist-era Euro neighborhood. It's the fourth such conference on Ukraine's recovery, with earlier editions in Lugano, Switzerland in 2022, London in 2023 and Berlin last year.
To be very clear on this, we fully support Ukraine on its path to EU membership. We are preparing package number 18 within the European Union of sanctions against Russia. There is only one member state missing to agree on that. I urgently ask Slovakia and its Prime Minister to give up the resistance and to make the way free for package number 18 within the European Union. In finalizing, I have two messages. The one goes to Moscow and to President Putin. The message is quite simple. We will not give up. And dear friends, my second message goes to Washington, D.C. and to President Donald Trump. Stay with us and stay with the Europeans. We are on the same page, and we are looking for a stable political order in this world. We are both, the Americans and the Europeans, are part of with us. Stay with us on this side and on this page of our common history. Many thanks, dear colleagues and friends.
U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio and his Russian counterpart met Thursday in Malaysia for what could be a testy conversation as tensions between the countries rise over Moscow's increasing attacks on Ukraine and questions about whether Russia's leader is serious about a peace deal. According to Associated Press, Rubio and Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov saw each other in Kuala Lumpur, where both men are attending the annual Association of Southeast Asian Nations Regional Forum, which brings together all 10 ASEAN members and their most important diplomatic partners, including Russia, China, Japan, South Korea, the Europeans, and the U.S. The meeting is their second face-to-face encounter since Rubio took office, although they have spoken by phone several times. Their first meeting came in February in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, as the Trump administration sought to test both Russia and Ukraine on their willingness to make peace. This one is set to take place shortly after the U.S. resumed some shipments of defensive weapons to Ukraine following a pause, ostensibly for the Pentagon to review domestic munition stocks, that was cheered in Moscow. The resumption comes as Russia fires escalating air attacks on Ukraine and as U.S. President Donald Trump has become increasingly frustrated with Russian President Vladimir Putin.
Thank you, Press. Thank you, Press. Secretary Rubio, what's your message to your Russian counterpart? Thank you, Press. 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 Thank you, Press.